the rough year we've had, you can't stop human nature. People are still falling in love and getting engaged. It may look a little different these days because of certain restrictions, but the basic rules remain the same. So self-proclaimed hopeless romantic and proposal planner Amber Walker is here to share her to-dos and don'ts of marriage proposals. And by the way, if you are planning to pop the question, stay for a really exciting contest announcement we have at the end of this segment. But Amber, welcome. Let's get right into it. Being a proposal expert, who knew that existed? Where do we start when it comes to planning the perfect proposal?
Well, it all starts with the ring, I have to say. So I don't suggest having a clunky ring box. I always opt for my clients to have a thin ring box like this one here. That way it doesn't poke out of your pocket. You don't want something bulging out of your pocket, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's a great option. And then ring-wise, I would say, choose a jewelry designer that can customize your ring opposed to just going into a store and buying something off the shelf. It's not so special and I don't advise it.
Okay, that's very smart. Once you have the ring all settled, let's talk about timing. And you say the best time to propose is golden hour. Why is that?
Well, I mean, sunset is the most beautiful time, if I do say so myself, to pop the question. Now, if you love golden hour like I do, well, then I would suggest Googling what time the sun is going to set the day you're popping the question. That way you can kind of set the mood. You could have some candles like we have here. And yeah, make sure you're there 15 minutes in advance. That way you can make sure you have time to catch those golden hues.
Oh, that'll make the photos really pretty, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. But first, a lot of people like to surprise their partners with the proposal. So in this day and age, with our whole lives out there online, how do we pull that off?
Well, I cannot stress this enough. It's all about the master plan. It's about getting your partner from point A to B, thinking about all those details, whether it's getting them out of the house, especially in COVID. That can be a tricky one. So you have to think about who your partner is and what they will actually buy. Now, I don't suggest telling too many people that you're planning on popping the question. You don't want loose lips to ruin the surprise. Now, instead, I would suggest having maybe a close friend that you can kind of converse with and kind of figure out the plan to get them to the location or get them out of the house or even help sell the story you want them to buy.
Oh, yeah. Rope in a friend, like a good friend, right? That's what I do for all my covert plans. Now, when it comes to the actual proposal and how we say it, what tips can you offer?
Well, I know this sounds like a no-brainer, but I have to say, speak from the heart. I often have my clients, read me this beautiful script that they've written, but they're tripping over their words, they're nervous. What I do suggest is just kind of writing everything that you want to say, point form, and then it comes off a little bit more authentically and organically.
Now, one expense, we're getting back to the photos now, one expense you say you should not do without, and that's the photos. So that is like a new phenomenon, I would say, fairly new, but tell me about why this is important.
Well, photos are so important these days because it's all about the Instagrammable moment. You've got to have those bragging rights, Tracy. Hire a photographer. And the cool thing about having the photos is they can double as your engagement announcement, so that's kind of cool too.
So what if you were really stumped for ideas? You just feel overwhelmed with the COVID limitations. What can you suggest?
Well, if you're really stumped for ideas, my team and I developed Popbox proposals, which is basically a proposal in a box that's a cost-effective, simple option that gets shipped right to your door. It actually has video instructions. That way, it's everything you need to pop the question, except the ring. That's on you. But I do have one last don't for you, Tracy. If you're not ready to put in the effort, don't pop the question.
Okay, so if you're not going to have the extravagant proposal, just don't even bother. There you have it from an expert herself.